Hello and welcome to Lightroom Bits. I'm going to be working on this episode on the adjustment brush. So what we've got with our image now is we've worked on the grad filter and we've given the image a little bit more punch. Just to remind you, let's just have a look at the before and afters. So you see using the grad filter we brought out the sky a bit and really adding some punch and some vibrance. We've got a nice colour going on here, and the grad filter in the foreground has really made that foreground a little more obvious to make us feel that we're going to be walking down that path. So let's go back to the single image. So we still have some issues here. One is the large amount of shadows going on here, and the rocks are really fairly dark and they're in a little bit of shadow. And of course, as the light is behind the lighthouse, this side of the lighthouse, which is really the main focal point of the image, is in a little bit of shadow as well. So rather than continuing to work on the shadows overall on the image, by using the adjustment brush we can really aim adjustments exactly at a particular area of the image that we choose. So I'm going to click on the adjustment brush button now. This brings up the brush, which I'm going to turn on the mask overlay so you can see where I'm brushing. So we're just going to do a little bit of work just to cover the rocks down there. It's a little bit there, maybe down there. By using the central mouse wheel, we can change the size of the adjustment brush very easily, so we can more directly make it affect the particular part of the image we want. Okay, that looks fine. I'm also going to highlight the lighthouse itself. Let's just go up there, and I'm just going to zoom in by pressing the space bar, which momentarily turns off the adjustment brush so that I can check what I'm affecting here. You see I've just gone over into the sea a little bit. What I can do here, I don't think it really matters in this case because I'm only dealing with shadows, but just to show you what's possible, I then click on the erase option here, and as I'm still in the adjustment brush, the using the brush now will actually erase the effect. So I'm not going to worry too much about getting too close to the image, trying to make it too perfect. But that's good enough. I'm going to put it back to adjustment brush mode so it doesn't confuse me in the future. Spacebar again to zoom out, and we can see what I'm highlighting here. I'm just going to touch in a little bit there, maybe this a little bit as well. That's okay. Turn off the showing the mask overlay. So I'm going to just do a little bit of work on this now. I'm going to relieve shadows a bit. So we want to, that's nice. So I don't want it looking too shadowy. There we are. That's nice. So we can see some nice texture in those rocks. And we can see something in this area now, and the lighthouse is better viewed. Now, on each option in the module, you can always turn it off very quickly just to see that you've had a good effect or not. So, just toggling off and on. Yeah, it's nice. I'm going to just add a touch of clarity to it just to give it a little bit more punch. Yeah, that would do. Now, shadows often affect the color balance of an image. And you see here the rock's a little bit blue, and in fact the this side of the lighthouse, the white wall is slightly blue. So I'm actually going to still on that adjustment brush. I'm just going to warm it up a little by upping the temperature a little, just to take the blue tinge away. Still a little bit of a blue tinge. I don't want to go too far, but that's fine. Let's try and turn it off and back on again. That's good. It's nice. So that one's done. And I'm going to use the adjustment brush on the sea. The sea at the moment is, it could do with a little more texture in there. So what I'm going to do is click the adjustment brush again. There's the previous adjustment brush. And now we're going to be working on the new one. So turn on the mask so I can check where I'm painting. I'm going to basically paint all of the sea. I'm not going to worry about being too perfect. I just thought a moment about going over that flag. I'm happy going over the flag, I think. So just trying to hit the line up there. Gone over it a bit. Again, not worrying too much. Okay, I've got some, that's a little bit too scuffy. So I'm going to go into the erase mode. I've zoomed in. I'm just going to erase off some of my, got a little bit too carried away there. And spacebar again, move along. Right, that's sort of okay. Spacebar again, just move along again, because I think I went over here. I don't want to be painting over the sky with this particular adjustment. Yeah. Get a little smaller. Okay, I'll go back to the active adjustment brush, and I'm just going to paint that last little bit. Went over it. Okay, that's fine. Spacebar click to bring us back full screen. That's fine. That's fine. Turn off the mask overlay. So what I'm going to do to this, I want to give it some clarity, just to give it a little bit of texture to that sea. So let's start dragging that up. That's too far. That was about 64 then. That was okay. That's nice. And I'm going to give specific sharpness to the sea as well, just to again more texture. So I'm just going to add some sharpness there. I am going to be adding sharpness at the end to the overall image, so I don't want to go too far. I just want to do enough just to give it a little bit of texture there. So thank you very much. So that's the image as we have it now. It's just by turning off that module, we'll turn off both of the adjustment brushes I've added, just to check that I have had an effect on things. Yeah, if you notice that the sea in particular, I like how it's given some nice little bit of texture to the sea, and the shadows are being relieved a little bit, which is nice. So done to finish that section, and let's just have a look at the before and after. You see, we've now dealt with pretty well the shadows there. We've got some nice texture in the rocks. There's more punch in the image overall. So I'm very happy with that so far. Thank you very much for watching.